Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and this is Don Walters welcoming you to another stop with the Staten Island Bowling Club. This month brings us to Jersey Lanes here in Linden, New Jersey. And I have with me my co-host, Bobby Simonelli. Bobby, we've got 8 finalists in today's competition, all right-handed bowlers. We have one person that already has 1 title this year, and of course the other 7 are seeking that first win for the year to advance to the Tournament of Champions.
Donnie, looking out at the field right now, it looks like it could be a strong field. It's mostly good handicap bowlers we have out there. The condition looks like it calls for more of the outside shot today, where the bowler will be coming more off the first arrow. And I believe that if they line up off this first arrow, we could look for some high scores today.
You want any favorites out there under those conditions as far as the lane dressing is concerned?
Well, I like Mr. Pepitone. He seems to hit that outside shot very good. And, you know, it's something that they're really been used to in Staten Island, and now it's back here over in Jersey Lanes.
Bobby, the fact that there's 8 right-handers, is that a good omen or a bad omen as far as the house is concerned?
Well, basically, the house, Donnie, is set up for both righty and lefty. They both bowl well here in Jersey Lanes. Why the lefties aren't in the field, they must have just bowled bad.
Okay, well, Bobby, we have one champion out there for this year so far, Laurie Palmeri. She's already in the TFC, so she's looking for a bye. Manny Pepitone, you know, was last month's runner-up to Bobby Sack. I don't normally make predictions, but this young Charlie Baldwin bowled yesterday, and he was throwing one hell of a bowling ball. I mean, he had a 250 and a 260, so he may be somebody to watch today.
Well, like I said, Donnie, the conditions are outside. It's an outside angle, and I think we're going to have scores from all the bowlers today, and I think it's going to be, once again, the bowler that makes the spares.
Okay, well, we'll be back with some action in a minute. Okay, we are back here at Jersey Lanes with the Staten Island Bowling Club, and we're going to introduce to you some bowlers who unfortunately went by the boards in their first game of match play. And the first man is in the finals for the 2nd consecutive month, and he finished 8th place this month at Jersey Lanes, Jimmy Grant. Hello, Mr. Grant.
Hello, Mr. Walters, back again.
Well, 2 months in a row.
Yeah.
2 months you lost your first game.
That's true.
Last month you lost to Bobby Sack, who went on to win the whole thing.
That's right.
And today you lost to who?
To Laurie, and she was good. She was in she hit the right spot. She hit the pocket, and I missed a couple of opportunities. She opened the door for me, but I just couldn't capitalize, and that's it. So I'll have to come back next week and try it again.
Well, 2 things. Number one, Laurie's already seated in the Tournament of Champions, so if she should go on to win again today, then she's going to catch a bye in the Tournament of Champions, which is November. You've been with us now all of this year.
Yeah, so far.
And maybe, just maybe, the 3rd will be the charm for you. 2 months, you're 0-2 in match play.
Yeah.
Maybe next month at show place will be the charm for you.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, that's my goal, you know, to be at the top spot at the end, to be there in November.
I'm hoping, you know I'm hoping for you.
Oh, I know you are.
You know that, Mr.
Yeah, I know that, sir.
Because this is my new neighbor.
I made your day, brother.
I thank you for bowling,
Thank
Jimmy.
you.
We'll
Thank
see you
you.
next month at
All
show
right.
place.
All right.
Okay, 7th place this year belongs to a young man who I've always said about this kid that he'll never beat himself because he always maintains a certain level of concentration. Alan Fuca. Alan, I want to congratulate you, 7th place today. It looks to me like you ran into a hot bowler in Jimmy Garrity.
Yeah, I can't take nothing away from him. He just, after the 2nd frame, he found the line and just didn't miss.
And once Jimmy gets locked in, he's like a buzzsaw. He's just going to keep going.
Yeah, nothing I can do about it.
Yeah. Well, next month we're show place.
Yeah, at least my shoe didn't fall apart this week.
Well, if it's not that, it's something else, right?
Yeah, I run it to Jimmy, right?
Alan, as always, thank you. See you next month. Okay, sixth place this month belongs to a mainstay with the Staten Island Bowling Club, Sal Puma. Sal, I want to congratulate you. Sixth place finish this month at Jersey Lanes with the Bowling Club. You lost to who?
I don't know his name.
Ahmed Ishmail, was
Yes,
it?
Ahmed. He bowled well. He started off with a triple. I rushed a couple of shots. I missed the spares the game,
Yeah.
and that's that.
Yeah.
But we'll be back.
Did you find the shot the same today as it was in qualifying?
Yes, yes.
Because you're at the other end of the house, that's why I asked.
These were a little bit tighter than down there. Just a bit, though. Not much. Maybe 2 boards. And that was it.
But basically, it was pretty
Basically a
consistent.
consistent shot. It's just me and my timing. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
I rushed my feet, and
important
that's that.
factor. That'll get you.
But like I say, we'll be back.
Very good.
Thank you.
Sal, always a pleasure. See you next
Thank
month at Showplace. Fifth place this month belongs to a man. There's a runner-up last month at Hudson Bay Own Lanes to Bobby Sack. He's been to the Tournament of Champions 2 consecutive years, Manny Pepitone. And Manny, before we go any farther, I just want to give you a little bit of personal information. I want you to know that today you set a record with the Staten Island Bowling Club. This is your 11th appearance in the finals. You're the first person, I won't say only because there'll be others, but you're the first person to attain that goal.
At least I got one record with you, Don.
There you go, temporarily.
Yeah.
Temporarily.
Well, I'm sure there'll
You're
be
there
more.
every month for us. You're there every month, so it's nice to see you out there at least getting a few bucks back to keep you interested and keep your hopes up.
Donnie, I love the club. You know, I enjoy myself. I come down, like you, like everybody.
This is a paid commercial, I want you to know.
And I enjoy myself. I just like, you know, bowling with you.
Good. Well, who do you like? We got 4 bowlers left.
Well, Charlie Baldwin, he beat me. I like him. When that kid gets locked, he's locked, and
Big, strong kid, yeah.
if he starts stringing him, it's all over.
Yeah, and we got Jimmy Garrity against Ahmed, I guess, and Charlie is going against Laurie. Laurie's looking for a second title.
Yeah, well, Laurie's got to get locked, too. You know, you can't count her out. But I like Charlie and Jim Garrity. That's what I think.
We're going to see what kind of predictor you are, my friend. Okay. Manny, as always, thank you. See you next month, Showplace Bowling Center, your home lanes.
I'll be there.
So you might be in a winner's circle because you are the defending champ at Showplace.
Yeah, I won that stop last
Yes, you
year.
did.
Yeah. I'll be there to
Coming
defend
back
it.
to put it all on the line.
I'll be there, Donnie.
Thank you, Manny. Okay, we have 4 bowlers remaining. We have Ahmed Ishmail going against Jimmy Garrity, and we have Laurie Palmeri going against Charlie Baldwin. Now, as I had mentioned, Laurie is looking for her second title of the year. If she can attain that goal, she will catch a bye in our Tournament of Champions that takes place in November. And we'll be back and we'll meet the 2 bowlers that go by the boards in the second semifinal game. Okay, bowlers, before we get on with our normal presentation, I'm going to turn the festivities over to my co-host, Bobby Simonelli, and he has some updated news for all you Staten Island residents that you should be interested in. Bobby, here you are, sir.
You know, Donnie, normally when we do this part of the show, we talk about bowling because it is a bowling show. But something is happening on Staten Island, and I believe that all of the Staten Islanders have to become more aware of. We all go through our everyday lives, and we're very complacent in things we do. We take a lot of things for granted. A lot of us have lost loved ones through heart disease, cancer, TB, leukemia. And when we hear of someone dying of cancer today, we more or less say, oh, another one.
Yeah.
Well, Donnie, there are certain people that are on Staten Island now that are trying to rally for the rest of the Staten Island, especially the kids, because some alarming statistics are coming out of the borough, especially with children with leukemia. And I went to a rally recently in the Showplace, and there were over 1,000 people at this rally, including Susan Molinari, Guy Molinari, and the different councilmen from the city, and the sanitation commissioner, Mrs. Lloyd, I believe her name is. And the things that were said at this rally were very scary to me as a human being, especially someone that has children. And when I look around now, when I walk in the mall and I see these little tots being toted around by their parents, and what I heard at this rally, I start to wonder, are we heading here on Staten Island for another Love Canal? It could be that way, because when they introduced the speakers at this rally, they introduced a lot of cancer patients. And one of the cancer patients asked the movie theater, when he turned around, anyone that is sitting here with cancer, would you kindly stand up? Donnie, I was in the third row. And when I turned around and I looked behind me, it was more than half the theater was standing. And chills came down my spine. And just recently, my wife and several other women were interviewed twice in 1 week by Gabe Pressman of Channel 4 News, and it was aired Friday and Monday. And the people that are rallying, that are trying to get the Staten Islands together, they're very concerned about the children and the people on Staten Island. And we have to try to get this message out to them, because everybody is trying to hide something. We cannot get any medical reports of any health assessments that were done from the Brookfield or the Arthur Kill dump. Now, this is a scary situation, Donnie, because the Arthur Kill dump, as long as it's been operated, is being operated by the New York City Sanitation Department without a permit. Now, we all know how important permits are.
Absolutely.
You cannot run a business without a permit. Now, the FBI did a surveillance test on Staten Island at the dump with cameras, and the private sanitation trucks that deliver onto the dump, according to the law, according to the sanitation, each truck must be inspected before they can dump whatever's in that truck. Donnie, in 7 months, the FBI has shown not once had any of the trucks been inspected. Now, where does this leave us as residents of Staten Island? We have our own real estate at heart, our interest to protect, our property to protect, and if this continues, our property is going to go down to zero. People aren't going to buy homes on Staten Island if they think they're moving into a cancer-ridden borough. So what these people are asking for that are running the rally is health assessment tests done on the dump. And they're being told, maybe we can complete a test 6 to 7 months from now. That means tomorrow another young baby could come down with leukemia, Donnie. So I'm asking the people and the viewers that are out here that the next time they're at the mall, or they're on New Dorp Lane, or they're on Highland Boulevard, and they see something that's in their car windshield, a piece of paper, saying, "We care for your children," talking about the cancer rate on Staten Island, we're trying to get a mass rally together. At the show place, we had 1,000. The mall said we can use the field behind the mall. We feel we can get 20,000 onto that field. This rally, we're hoping, will come about before the next Democratic convention in the city of New York. And the women that are behind this rally, I take my hat off to them, because they're bringing this out into the open, and it's up to us, Staten Islanders, to back these women up. It's up to all you mothers that have young children that are watching this telecast to pass the word on to your friends, to let them know what's going on in Staten Island, what's going on at the dump. If there is a cancer being caused by the toxic fumes from the dump, we must demand from our legislators that they do testing. We should call Molinari's office. We should call our councilmen, and we too should become involved. And I would like to see everyone that's out there at the Staten Island Mall when this rally comes about. And I'm hoping that by the time our next show comes, we can give these people out there some kind of a date. So you people that are watching Donnie and myself with our bowling show, you are the messengers. It's up to you to pass the word around that there's something wrong and there is a cover-up on Staten Island. Thank you.
Okay, we are back with the Staten Island Bowling Club. And before we get on with our championship match, we're going to meet the bowlers that finished 3rd and 4th place this month at Jersey Lanes. 4th place is a young man that's been here before, and I've had the pleasure of knowing him for a lot of years, and it's just a matter of time before he's in the winner's circle. Jimmy Garrity. Jimmy, to start, I want to first thank you for bowling with the club. You finished 4th place this month. And to all the viewers that are watching, in my hand, Steve, if you can zoom in on this, this is a ring that Jimmy Garrity won. This is an 800 ring presented by the American Bowling Congress. That, Jimmy, you bowled the 800 at Victory when?
March 3rd.
And it was what,
822.
822, and it was one, I believe, of only 15 800s in all of Staten Island?
I believe so.
And my co-host Bobby Simonelli has one of those also. Jimmy, you also have a 300.
Yes.
Which is the bigger thrill?
The 800 is.
I noticed this ring you have gold-plated, as the 300 was silver.
Right. I figured the 300 I got from the ABC, and when I hit the 800, I figured might as well go for the gold.
Right.
It's going to be hard to top.
Yeah, no question about it. You're in a very elite club now of 800 shooters here on Staten Island, and it's well-deserved. You've always been a quality person and a quality bowler, and that is certainly showing this year with your quality scores.
Yeah, we'll keep trying.
You're having a great season. And I know that we're going to see you next place at Show Place.
I'll be there.
And I know, it's, as I said earlier, it's just a matter of time before you're in the winner's circle with the Staten Island Bowling Club.
Appreciate it. It's a good club.
I
Good
know
luck
that.
to you.
I thank you very much, and thank you for bowling. And we'll see you next month. That was Jimmy Garrity, 4th place with the Staten Island Bowling Club. 3rd place this month belongs to a young man that is definitely making a mark for himself in his great game of 10 pins. He's a young lion. He will be heard from, Charlie Baldwin. Charlie, I congratulate you, my friend. Another fine showing with the Bowling Club. I don't normally make predictions with the show when we cablecast. I did make one comment to my co-host Bobby Simonelli that based on what you bowled yesterday, you were throwing one hell of a bowling ball yesterday, and I think for the most part that carried into today for your first game anyway.
Yeah, it did.
You bowled the second game, you went up against Laurie,
Yeah.
and Laurie knocked you out.
Yeah, she bowled well. I just couldn't make an adjustment on 34. That was it.
Yeah, well, the
Till
one
too
thing
late.
that I've noticed with you, Charlie, and this is not a negative, understand. This is what they call constructive criticism. You have a little trouble with your spares.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, and when you master that, when you learn how to cover those spares, no one's going to touch it. Because I don't know of anybody that throws a more devastating strike ball than yourself. I mean, you're big, you're strong, you're young, you've got all the tools. It's just a matter of putting all the tools together, which you're certainly working on at this point in your young career. And I thank you for bowling with the bowling club. 3rd place, a terrific finish for a very nice young man. Next month, Show Place Bowling Center. We're back on Staten Island. I know we're going to see you there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Right, with your new haircut that I teased you about, right?
Yep.
Charlie, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have 2 bowlers remaining. Laurie Palmeri, she's going up for her 2nd title of the year, and she's going to be going against Ahmed Ishmail, who will be seeking his 1st title. Now, if Ahmed should win, he will go on to the TFC, and if Laurie wins, she's already in the TFC, but she'll catch a bye in the 1st round of competition for that very prestigious tournament. And we'll be right back with that match in a minute. Okay, we are ready for our championship match today, Bobby, and it's going to feature Laurie Palmeri in search of a 2nd title, and she's going up against Ahmed Ishmail, who is in search of his 1st title. And we hear it at Jersey Lanes with the Staten Island Bowling Club.
Donnie, we have a heavy-duty cranker in Ahmed, and Laurie is more of a straight shooter coming up from the outside.
So who does the house favor?
Well, it's hard to tell at this point because both of them made it into the final, so I guess it must favor both of them. 2 different types of bowlers, and both of them here in the finals. Ahmed goes on lane 29. He gets that ball out. Almost a 7-10, Donnie. Leaves up a 10-pin.
And you see what's unusual about Ahmed, Bobby, is he doesn't put his thumb in the thumb hole when he releases the ball.
Right, but what you're going to see, Donnie, the further he throws the ball to the right, the stronger the ball is going to come back. Now that ball was in the oil in the middle of the lane, and it really didn't have the drive to take out all 10 pins. It's going to be interesting to see him shoot this 10-pin straight across. He's got a straight ball for a 10-pin and a
He takes a lot off the ball when he shoots that 10-pin.
big hooker on the first.
Yeah.
Okay, Laurie.
Seems to loft that ball out to take the roll off it.
Laurie's getting up now to lane 30. Using a purple hammer, Donnie.
Bobby, as I mentioned, she's looking for her second title, and you're right. She's an exact opposite of Ahmed as far as technique is concerned. She crosses and leaves a 5-pin.
Well, once again, Donnie, we're in New Jersey, and back in Staten Island, we would call that a Jersey hit. So I guess we'll call it a Brooklyn
I
hit
guess today we're going to have to.
in honor of the New Jerseyans.
And Bobby, it's interesting. Today, Laurie is getting 13 pins from Ahmed. So at this point, he's given her one mark.
Let's watch the spare shooting, Donnie, because spare shooting could be very important here today on lanes 29 and 30. As Laurie goes up, delivers the ball, throws it out, and it never made a move back.
Wow.
She knew as soon as she threw the ball, Donnie. Something happened there when she delivered the ball. I think she lost the ball. She ran up to that line too quick.
I hope she may be digging an early hole for herself, Bobby. You miss 5-pin in one-game competition like that. It's very tough. Now let's see if she can recover, Bobby.
She delivered that ball straight up, Donnie.
Straight up.
Little light. Oh, and
Did she steal that or what? Did she steal that?
She knocked that 8-pin right down, Donnie, with the help of the 2-pin.
Wow.
And a couple other pins that came from nowhere.
Okay, so now Ahmed is up for frame number 2 on lane 30. Bobby, this is a fresh set of lanes again. Hasn't been used at all today for qualifying. So nobody has an advantage in that regard.
Now this is interesting, Donnie. You're saying Ahmed doesn't use his thumb. Cups the ball on his wrist,
Amazing,
throws the
isn't it?
ball far right. What I say before,
He's
Donnie, the
throwing
more
bullets.
he throws right,
The more
the
he throws
stronger.
right, the stronger it's going to be.
And that's exactly what happened.
Example right there.
Strike on lane 30 for Ahmed. Getting up on 29, looking for a double.
Right now, Ahmed has an early lead due to Laurie's open.
Let's see how he plays lane 29. Last time up, he was out around the 3rd arrow, getting it into the track. Is he going to go out a little further on this, Donnie? Yes, he does.
Wow.
Came over the ball, Donnie.
The ball is hooking sharply at the end on him on that one, Bobby.
Well, what it is, Donnie, see, when you're bowling without the thumb in the ball, you've got to be very careful. You have to turn the ball at the precise moment your leg gets to the line. And that time, he was a little out in front of himself, and he overturned the ball, and he's going to get double the reaction that a bowler that uses his full thumb will get. Straight ball across the lane, and he's got another spare.
Fine conversion for Ahmed Ishmail, who now has 40 through 2 with a spare in the 3rd. To Laurie's 9 in the 1st with a strike up.
And a 13-pin handicap gives a...
Pin hand gives her 22 in the 1st with a strike.
Okay, Donnie, let's see now if she slows down a little bit on lane 30. She goes up the lane, Donnie, but the ball's not making it up.
The ball seems to be flattening out on her, Bobby.
Well, Donnie, could it be these lanes weren't used and there's a little more oil on them?
That's probably the reason.
Because it looks like, you know, her ball is really skidding going
Isn't it
down.
time for her to make a move now?
She's got to make a move right, because basically she delivers the ball straight
Bobby,
up.
when you say right, do you mean on the alley or on the approach she should move?
On both. She's got to move a spot on both. She's got to make a 3-1 right.
That looked like a good conversion right there, and maybe that will get Laurie started. She converts her first spare of the match here in the 3rd frame.
29 in the 2nd with 13 pins gives us 42 in the 2nd against Ahmed's 40.
Still trailing, but it's early in the match. She just wants to keep making marks and stay close and hopefully look for an opening.
Okay, Laurie's going on lane 29 now, and she's up 2 pins in the early match. Let's see how she delivers the ball straight up inside the 2nd arrow. That ball fell back, Donnie, and she come up with another strike on 29. She has to do the same thing on lane 30.
I think she likes 29, Bobby. That's 2 strikes that we handed to her on 29.
Well, I think what's happening on lane 29, the ball return is long at Jersey lanes, and it's forcing her body to go more towards the left. And that's also forcing her swing to go up towards the pocket. Okay, Ahmed now on lane 30. He's down 2 pins. He gets that ball well out, and he gets a solid 10, Donnie.
He seems to be throwing that ball with a lot of confidence and authority, Bobby. I'll tell you. Really looks good.
I don't know if you ever tried to put a 16-pound bowling ball and rest it on your wrist and make an accurate delivery, Donnie. You have to be so
fine.
exact.
Yeah,
It's unbelievable. And he's going to go cross lane on this one, and he converts the 10 pin.
10 pin, his heart is beating in the process, as you saw.
Donnie, on most lanes that we bowl on, if you make just a one board mistake, you're talking maybe 6 inches down in the back end for one board. So it's a 6 to 1. Each board is an inch. So in Ahmad's case, with all that ball that he's throwing, he makes a little mistake. It's going to be twice that error in the back end. Now here's the lane he hasn't been able to strike on. And he gets a solid 10, Donnie. Another good shot from Ahmed. He's in the pocket.
He keeps leaving 10 pins, Bobby. Should he stay there or should he move?
Donnie, it's kind of hard in a one-game match to make moves when you're hitting the pocket. I would stay where I'm at. And perhaps if I get another 10 pin and it becomes late in the match, I would take a gamble. But as long as it's only 2 pins, Ahmed shouldn't be worrying about that right now.
Well, he's staying clean, Bobby. He's making some very tough spares here. And he's still trailing Laurie by 3 pins.
Well, we have Laurie up now, and she's working on a strike. And this is the lane that's giving Laurie trouble.
Let's see if she makes any kind of an adjustment.
Lane 30 for Laurie's been a problem, just as 29's been a problem for Ahmed.
Basically the same ball, Bobby.
A little better, but Donnie, that time she was a little slow with her feet, and the ball made it up and just a little bit light, leaving up to 2-5. Now she's really going to have to go cross lane on this, Donnie, because you notice when she hit the middle of the lane before, her ball really backed off.
Yeah.
So she's going to have to come across her body on this spare. Not an easy spare to convert. Looks good, Donnie, and she converts it.
Spare for Laurie will help her maintain her lead.
She knew, Donnie. She played that spare right to the left. She knew that she had to get that ball heading in that direction of the 2 pin.
She's now leading Ahmed by 4 pins, 112 to 108 in the 5th frame. It's interesting, Laurie is going to finish on lane 29, which is the lane she wants to finish on, and yet Ahmed had the option of where he wanted her to finish.
She points that one up the middle, Donnie, and she left up the 5-7. Donnie, once again, this time she went up the middle of the lane. She was more towards a 13-14 board, and the ball never picked up any momentum. It skidded down the lane, and when it hit the pocket, it just deflected. Now she's got to try to basically throw the ball the same way. And she's got a 50-50 chance to make this 5-7 split.
Big conversion for her right here, Bobby. Big conversion.
Donnie, this looks good. And she makes it, Donnie, the exact same. She made the exact same delivery, Donnie, and the ball went the exact same way. Backed off a little bit, and she made the 5-7.
Tell me she doesn't want to win a 2nd title of the year with the Staten Island Bowling Club. Wow.
Now, Donnie, we're getting now a little later in the match. We're past the halfway mark as far as Laurie goes, reaching the halfway mark now with Ahmed. On lane 30. He's going to get this ball far right.
Wow, that ball ran on him.
Donnie, he came over again.
He didn't get it out there, yeah.
Came over again. He turned over the ball a little earlier, and the end result now is a 6-10. It could have been a lot worse. Could have had the 7 pin up there.
My goodness, another tough conversion, Bobby. Each spare comes a little tougher as we get later in the match.
He's going straight across on this from the left-hand corner. He's got it, Donnie.
Ahmed has always been excellent on his spare shooting, Bobby. Always been a fine spare shooter.
Let's see if he does something different now in lane 29. Like I said before, in this type of a match, you don't really want to make a move unless you have to. If you fall behind and you see it's necessary, you do it. If you're way up and you want to increase your lead and take a shot at it, you can do it. But a tight match like this, It's going to be interesting to see how he handles this.
You want to maintain your consistency with your first ball right now.
He's got to get that ball right, Donnie. He got it far right that time. Whoa, he almost had the 4-9. He tripped that 4-9, Donnie, and this could be a big plus in his favor coming on to lane 30. He has not been able to strike on 29 through the game. Now this just about puts the pressure back on Laurie now.
It's a big ball for Laurie Palmeri right here.
We have to see how she handled that 5-7 split. If she makes any changes on lane 30. She's up high, Donnie. See, Donnie, she had the split on lane 29. She knew that she threw the ball into the oil. The ball skidded. Didn't quite take out the 5-pin. And when she got on lane 30, she actually compensated for the mistake she made on lane 29. This is a common error amongst many of us bowlers.
You know what I noticed today, Bobby? It seems both bowlers are shooting at the same spares.
She's going to go cross lane, Donnie. She has it.
Big 6-10 conversion.
Say one thing, Laurie, she's improved a lot in her spare game, Don.
Come a long way, hasn't she? And she's staying tough. She's staying very tough. She's forcing Ahmed to continue to mark.
You ladies out there watching this, Staten Island Bowling Club, why don't you get your ball, put it in the bag, and come to our next stop?
You know, it's funny you should ask, Bobby, because our next stop is at Showplace Bowling Center for the first 2 weekends in June.
And the ladies really bowl well there.
They sure do. Well, we hope to see you there.
Laurie's up now on 29. She's high on that lane, Donnie. Donnie, she made that error again. She's compensating for something that happened on the 5-7. And a lot of times a bowler will make that adjustment. And she almost had a split on lane 30. And on lane 29, she leaves up a very difficult, what we call a double P-knuckle. It's a 6-10, 4-7 cross lane. She's got to get the ball towards the edge.
Good effort. Fine effort by Laurie as she takes out 2 of them, but gives her 8 for the frame, which gives her 160.
No, that's 142 in the 8th.
2 in the 8th. I'm sorry, yeah.
Donnie, this could be very interesting here because whether Ahmed knows it or not, this strike could set up a shutout for this match.
Let's see if he's equal to that.
He got that way out, Donnie, and it came way back for a ripping strike. Donnie, he had some authority on that ball. I mean, there was nothing that was going to stand up under that pressure. That ball was coming in there like a bulldozer.
He's bowling with a lot of confidence, and he's also bowling it in a relaxed state of mind, which helps.
Well, after the double, I have to agree with you.
He's having fun. He's out there having fun.
Well, like I said, Donnie, he can shut this match out. Big strike on lane 29. He really turned that one, Donnie, and he turned it a little too hard.
Goodness. Does anybody want this game?
And what do we got, Donnie? We got Laurie back in the match.
We've got a 4-7-10. My goodness, he opened the door, gave Laurie an opportunity to come right back.
Donnie, did you notice how hard he turned that ball? Once again, he overcompensated for the lane. It looked like he was trying to get speed on the ball, but he didn't give it enough room. Cross lane, Donnie. Oh, he almost makes it. Nice try at the 4-7-10 for Ahmed, who now in the 9th frame has a 171. We have Laurie in the 8th with a 142. And Laurie now is back in this match.
She can use a double, oh, Bobby, it would help.
She's crossing, Donnie. She left up a very difficult spare, Donnie.
Bobby right now looks like she's
3-6-10 with company in the back, the old 9-pin. And she's going to have to cover that back pin on this spare if she wants to make it.
So, Bob, she should shoot for the back pin to convert this spare. She should shoot for that 9-pin.
She spares up here, Donnie, and strikes out. She can have a finish with a 192. 1 pin better than if Ahmed was to spare and strike out. This is a big spare. Well, she never made it over there, Donnie. The best she can do right now is 181, which means Ahmed would need a mark.
Assuming Laurie strikes out.
If she strikes out. If she doesn't, we have a new champion.
She had a second
His
opportunity, his first title for the bowling club. That's right, and he will go on to the TFC, representing Jersey Lanes. Well,
Little light on that one, Donnie. A little light. She leaves up a 7-pin. Laurie bowled very well, Donnie, to get into this final match. And a lot of credit should be given to her for the bowling that she did. And like you said before, she was going for her first two. She would have been a 2-time champion.
first one of the year, that's right.
First woman to win a championship in the club. So here we go at the 7-pin, and Laurie throws cross lane, and she makes that 7-pin. She will wind up with a strike with a 158 13-pin handicap, giving her a 171. Ahmed has that now in a 9th frame. Doesn't even have to throw out a ball.
I think he can get one pin.
And he is our champion. Unless we have a foul, Donnie. A double foul.
And she got another strike on 29 and finishes with a 171 with handicap. And that will be a second place finish for her. She's also the first lady to have a second place finish with the Staten Island Bowling Club.
Ahmed needs one pin, Don.
One pin and two
balls.
chances. I like his odds.
The ball he throws, who doesn't?
I like his odds very much. And there's the winner. I think he played that ball a little safer.
Yeah, he went right down the middle on that, Donnie. Getting more than one pin, so it makes him a champion, and he'll be going to our tournament.
Champion. So that will be November 15th at a site to be determined.
Say one thing, Ahmed was spare proof. He didn't miss a spare through this whole match.
He's always been a fine spare shooter, always. As long as I've had the pleasure of knowing him, he's been a good quality spare shooter.
Laurie came up with a couple of holes, you know,
Yeah.
with a couple of splits, and that was her downfall.
He took full advantage of it.
Otherwise, she was staying pretty close to him with the spares. That time he went right out to the edge, Donnie, and that ball came back, and he got a messenger that took out the 10-pin. So let's go out and meet our champion, Donnie.
Let's do that. We'll spend some time with our latest runner-up, Laurie, and then we'll go congratulate our latest winner. Hey, Joe. Are you ready, young lady? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, another Staten Island Bowling Club stop has come to an end here at Jersey Lanes in Linden, New Jersey. And before we introduce our latest winner, how about a nice round of applause for this month's runner-up, Laurie Palmeri. Laurie, I think your goal with the Staten Island Bowling Club is to finish 1 through 8. Now you now have a first place finish. Now you have a second place finish.
2 second place.
2 second place finishes. Was there a turning point in this match for you?
I just couldn't find myself on lane 30, and I was getting frustrated, and then I missed the 5-pin in the first frame, and just threw me off a little bit. Ahmed was bowling well.
He bowled very well. He throws a hell of a ball.
Yes, he does.
Donnie, I got to say one thing. This is the prettiest champion that we've ever had, and it's all to her credit. She bowled well. She ran into what I believe were freshly oiled lanes, and I think they affected Laurie a little bit.
That's
She tried to make some adjustments after that 5-7, and spares weren't her downfall. It was the splits.
Yeah, even in qualifying, I was finding it tough, like the first squad when there was oil, and then I was bowling better when there was
I
less
think we're
oil.
going to see. We'll see Laurie at the showplace, Donnie.
Definitely.
Without a doubt.
But I'm not going to pick her,
Without a doubt.
because if I pick her, then she's not going to win.
We know that's the kiss of death, whoever you pick. We know that.
That we
Laurie, you bowled great.
Thank you.
Laurie, I want to congratulate you, and I also want to thank you for your continued support with the Staten Island Bowling
Oh,
Club.
I enjoyed it.
Get out there and get some more ladies involved.
I'll try. I don't know too many lady bowlers.
Laurie Palmeri, second place. Well, Mr. Simonelli, we have another champion that we have to crown with the Staten Island Bowling Club. And I must admit, it's been a long time in coming for this man. But I'm also very elated for him, and I'm glad to see him finally in the winner's circle. Nice round of applause, Ahmed Ishmail. He is not only our latest champion with the Staten Island Bowling Club, but he is also our King of the Hill for the entire summer at Sunset Lanes. Ahmed, I want to congratulate you.
Thank you.
You bowled very well. You're a mainstay with the bowling club. You are one of the reasons why the bowling club works. You're one of the reasons why we continue to have tournaments. I know that I can always count on people like you to get out here and participate. And I'm glad to see you finally in the winner's circle.
Thanks.
And you bowled extremely well. I know Bobby has a question for you.
Ahmed, we were telling the viewers about your bowling without your thumb, and you're holding the ball onto your wrist. Can you tell us how all this came about?
Well, I went upstate New York in a tournament I bowled, and I was carrying a 210 average. And I went there to bowl, and it was a lot of oil out there. So I see my ball didn't hook. And one day I was watching Mike Miller bowl, and I tried it for a couple of months, and I'm bowling right now like that.
Has it affected your wrist in any way? Have you had any wrist problems?
Well, at the beginning, yes, it did. You know, at the beginning it did, because I really put a lot of strength on my wrist. But you know, with the medication and stuff like that, and practicing a lot, I got used to it now.
Would you recommend something like that for our runner-up Laurie to get used to?
No, no, I don't recommend that to nobody.
She does very well with a whole hand in the ball.
Yes, yes, she does. Yes, she does.
She had a lot of things going for her earlier in the match, and then she ran into a little trouble when she got on lane 29. And it was amazing that 29 also gave you a problem.
Yes, it did. Lane 29, for some reason, certain area in the lane, the ball just skid. And I noticed when I left the 2-4-10, I think, I'm right or wrong, the 2-4-10 I left, yeah. So I knew that my ball really didn't come back that much. So yeah, lane 29 did give us a little problems.
Well, you know, you're going to have to. Laurie already promised us that she definitely is going to make the top telecast in the show place, and she wants a piece of you again. So we can look forward to this match.
Oh yes, God willing, yes. I wish you all the luck. I wish everybody that participated all the luck.
Not only does she want,
Thank you.
not only does she want you there, she wants you first round TFC in November.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it. Yes. I hope one of us win.
And Ahmed, I thank you very much for bowling with the club, for your continued support. It's good to see you here. I know we're going to see you next month, Showplace Bowling Center, next 2 weekends, back on Staten Island.
Oh, yes, God willing, I'll be there. Yes, God willing.
I know you will. Bobby, closing thoughts for today?
Well, we had two bowlers bowling on lanes 29 and 30. One of them threw basically a line type of a ball, and the other one was a heavy-duty cranker. At any time, the match could have changed. Bowling is a game of breaks. And I think we're going to see Laurie back in the circle again, and I think we're going to see Ahmed back in the circle again. But the one thing I like to get to our viewers that are watching, that you're seeing a woman bowling in our club, and we would like other women to come out and participate. It is a handicap tournament. It is basically made up for handicap bowlers, and I have to say one thing, that of all of the bowling clubs that I know of, the Staten Island Bowling Club is the one that favors the handicap bowler more than the rest.
Okay, thank you, Bobby. Thank all you viewers for watching here with the Staten Island Bowling Club. We're at Jersey Lanes here in Linden, New Jersey. Our next stop will take place at Showplace Bowling Center. That will be the first 2 weekends in June. We want to remind you that every Friday at 5 o'clock and every Sunday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're on Channel 24 and Channel 35. So for you viewers, thank you for continually watching. Come on out, support the club, be part of the club, and maybe next month it'll be you standing right next to me in the winner's circle with the Staten Island Bowling Club.